thing about this, for quite honestly, for the first time in some time in this rivalry, I think Oil City, at least on paper, would be the favorite.
Yeah, you'd have to think so, especially here. I know they won, down in Franklin too, but a little bit different cast, especially with Kyle Russell being back tonight. One didn't play in the first game, but on this court, and with Franklin, I think needs the win more than Oil City. So I think if you had to give an edge, you'd give it to Oil City tonight.
We'll talk about the playoff scenarios, what we think, and the expanded 10-team field. Be back in 2 minutes. It's the Oil Region Game of the Week, the Route 8 rivalry. The Franklin Knights and the Oil City Oilers coming your way right here on 96.3 KQW.
Commercial.
Sort of slipped my mind, Stevie. You mentioned Kyle Russell being back. Well, kind of a big deal for Marky Cochran will be number 42, Grant Rogers, who has not played, because of the incident at Titusville. So two guys that are going to see a lot of minutes tonight, we anticipate anyway, that didn't play in the first go-round. Now, that first go-round, Oil City was 51-45 winners at the Castle. Franklin is right now, I guess depending on how you look at it, the last team of the, let me start all over again. Earlier this week, District 10 decided to expand the team, the tournament, to 10 teams. So basically prior to Tuesday or Wednesday, Franklin was the last team in by the hair of their chinny chin chin. Well, after the decision, because of the way the regions are structured, Region 6 and Region 7, lesser teams, Region 7 being split, the educated guess is Meadville, who's the only team that's locked up a region title and secured at 13-0, 18-1 overall, they are in. Then things get interesting. Tied at 9-4 in Region 5 play, Grove City, Oil City. Grove City is 11-8, Oil City is 11-7. Grove City is at Hickory tonight, where they won 60-53 earlier in the year. Their games remaining are against George Jr., who they lost to, and they close out here at Oil City, which will be at a week from tonight, where they won in overtime. So the interesting dynamic. Pay attention to the wins and losses of the teams that have played, and you'll see where the Sharon Tigers sit pretty well. Oil City has Franklin tonight. They won when they faced Franklin the first meeting. The next two, their final two games are on Tuesday when they go to Sharon. They lost to Sharon the last time they played. Grove City, they lost to. Sharon Tigers, who are 8-5, 10-9, theoretically in third place. They played Georgia. They close on Tuesday with Slippery Rock, a team they beat in double overtime, and George Junior, 6-7, 9-10. They are at Sharon tonight. The last time these two teams tangled, it was an 88-60 Sharon Tigers win, and they're at Grove City and at Meadville. So it'll be really interesting to see, because then at the bottom of Region 6, Harbor Creek is 3-4, 7-12 overall, behind the likes of 6-1 Girard, 5-2 General McLean, 4-3 Warren, Cathedral Prep, 5-1, 4-2. Strong Vincent are the Region 7 representatives. So really the teams that you need to pay attention to, and a loss for Franklin will put them into this category with 8 losses in the region, or George Junior and Harbor Creek. So basically we've left to be played, and opponents are determined by your record in the last 3 games for many of these teams.
No doubt, and you take a look at it. I mean, on that paper, Oil City, which of course I hope we're not quizzed on that again, but Oil City's on paper sits well above Franklin, 9-4, 7-7. But as you alluded to, if Franklin would pull the upset tonight, Oil City's lost to the other 2 teams that they have left, you could conceivably see both teams finishing 9-7. And then you would assume the committee takes the hot team. There's a lot of scenarios that could play out, especially as you mentioned with 10 teams now going.
And of course, you mentioned the hot team. Well, then you've got a play-in game. Somebody's going to be forced to play an extra game to get there. Meadville is the class. I was really impressed with them the last time we saw them. Meadville is the class of Region 5, but you can throw a blanket over Grove City, Oil City, Sharon. Franklin started fast, struggled late, closed nicely, and George Junior is the ultimate wild card, but they've really got the most difficult schedule with Sharon, Grove City, and Meadville. Harbor Creek would probably need to win out, but even in that scenario, I don't know how George Junior gets left out, even with the region record and the overall record.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I've known there's been years when I was coaching that they just evened out both sides. But of course we have a little bit of a
you've got
different sort of
5,
region,
6,
right?
and 7.
It's all over the place now. So you would assume if you're going to expand the field, you take the best 10 teams, and in that case, I think both Franklin and Oil City have it. They control their own destiny in some ways. I mean, I can't imagine if Franklin wins their next 2 games, they don't get in. Oil City has 9 already. Even one more win should secure them a spot, but then you start to think about your seeds because who's over on the other side, and you don't want to run into Prep or Meadville or Strong Vincent very early on.
Yeah, you certainly don't. 2-minute timeouts as we get you ready. It's the Route 8 rivalry. Franklin at Oil City. It was a good one last time. Be back in 2 minutes right here on 96.3 KQW. Joe Ludnowski alongside the coach Steve Shingledecker as we get ready for a Region 5 showdown, the Route 8 rivalry. Oil City comes into this one. They are 7-11, 9-4 in region play. Franklin, 11-9 overall, 7-7 in Region 5 play. Barring some crazy stuff, I think both teams will be playoff teams, but it will be a question seedings and who plays who. The last time these two teams played, it was the shooting of Tyler Lukasiak that was the difference. He had, 5 threes?
I believe so.
5 threes. Just lit it up. We've seen Tyler bury the 3 ball. Real quickly, we're up against the break, Steve. How important is it to win the 3-point line for Franklin?
Well, depending on, what Franklin does again. In the last game, Franklin played an inverted triangle, and not to get into too much, but when basically what it means is 2 guys playing man, 3 guys in a zone. It's a very unique defense, but what it allows for is you're going to get a lot of open looks from the perimeter, and that's what Franklin is gambling on. So, it's a roll of the dice. You're going to give up shots. If he's hitting them like he did the last game, they got to make some adjustments.
Could be a long night. Take a 2-minute timeout. We'll come back with the opening tip. It's the Route 8 rivalry right here on 96.3 KQW. Sophomore Eric Hoffman, who had such a hot hand last night. Do you put him in the starting lineup, or do you keep him in the familiar role of coming off the bench? But he's been in and out of the starting lineup basically all year long anyway.
Yeah, if it were me, I wouldn't make a change tonight. He came off the bench Tuesday night, had 15 points, 4 threes. That's a career high. I wouldn't mess with it right now. He had missed a couple of games there, and I think that's what kind of got him down on the bench. And shot. So if it were me, I wouldn't mess with it. But Casey has a tendency, likes to play, do a little bit more with the matchups than just kind of have a strict starting lineup. So.
And of course, Mark Cochran has basically run out the same starting lineup. The one change is Grant Rogers, but he's the real wild card. As we mentioned, he missed a lion's share of the season for that injury. He had a concussion up in Titusville, but he is a bigger body, and he brings a lot to the table in terms of the matchup problems. And you have to wonder when you bring in Rogers into the fold, legitimately 6'3". You've got Colton Schneider, legitimately 6'3". Does that put even more pressure on Jeff Spade, the 6'6" junior for Franklin, because he's basically their lone big. Now, they will put in Zane Boffman from time to time, but in terms of the major minutes, Spade is the only legit big they got.
Yeah, going back to that, their defense from, the first game in that triangle is they play it inverted, which means two guys are out front, one in the back of the triangle. And, without Rogers in the first game, they really didn't have an inside presence, which makes that defense a little easier to maneuver. If he can stay down on the block, get the basketball in there, that's a tough job for one guy to have playing in the middle of that zone by himself. It'll be interesting to see if Casey comes out in that defense again, and if so, how Rogers affects that.
Of course, Spade is a big boy, pretty raw as a basketball player, but he is a brutal matchup. He's legitimately 6'6". He's probably every bit of 200 pounds.
Yeah, there's no doubt. He's I'll tell you, he's really improving as the year goes on. He's got some nice, some athletic ability, good passer. They bring him up high a lot to set a lot of high ball screens, but when he does get the basketball, he's got a pretty good eye for the basket, got soft hands. So, Jeff's really improved a lot since the beginning of the year.
Starting lineups will be Rogers, Hadley, Jackson McFall, Tyler Klein, and Tyler Lukasiak. It's Khalil West, Kyle Russell, Alex Huff, Isaac Drain, and Jeff Spade. We get ready for action. Region 5 showdown. It's the Route 8 rivalry. The tip is up, and Rogers tips it to Hadley, and the Oilers control right out of the chute. Klein has it on the right wing. Looks inside to Rogers. Hands off what appeared to be what they're trying to set up a ball screen, but hands it off to McFall. McFall off the bounce down the lane. Kicks to Klein. Klein's forced to kick it back out to Morgan Hadley. Morgan Hadley works at the top of the key. Hands to Tyler Lukasiak. 30 seconds gone by in the first frame. Still no score. Hadley works off the bounce against Huff. Hands off to Klein. Little three-man weave. Klein gets deep. Turn around. Shot foul line is up and good. And the Oilers are out front 2-0.
Tough shot. If I'm not mistaken, they are back in the triangle again tonight.
A lot of dribble handoff. They got penetration. And Klein found the bucket. Kyle Russell, foul line extended jumper is up and good very quickly. Quiets the blue hole. We're tied at deuces. 60 seconds into this one. Hadley off the bounce, into the lane. Kicks out to Lukasiak, left wing, penetration. Gets it across the lane to Klein, and he rattles it in.
We're going to get some open shots. Right now they got Alex Huff playing on Hadley. Khalil West is playing on McFall. Everybody else playing in zone. It's easy to overmatch. You're just basically betting on this shot.
Magic Drain, step back three from the top of the key, no good. Rogers clears for the Oilers. Oil City up 4-0, 6:30 to go in the first quarter. Morgan Hadley very quickly across the midcourt stripe. He works in the lane, tied up, strip taken away by Russell, and Hadley's going to be the last to touch it. Good post defense there by the Franklin Knights.
Looks like Oil City's in a basic man-to-man. I think that's pretty much what they played Franklin the first time.
Drain walks it across the timeline. 6:15 to go in the first quarter. Hands to Russell on the left wing. Works off the Khalil West ball string. Knocked away by Hadley. Long skip to Huff now back at the timeline. He works on Lukasiak. Crosses him over down the lane. Kicks to Russell. His three from the left wing is short. Lukasiak clears for the Oilers. He looks to push. He's got McFall on the right wing. McFall behind the back dribble. Great drive and dish to Klein. And again, it's Tyler Klein on the scoreboard again for the Oilers, 6-2.
Another, if you can get out in transition, it's tough for 3 guys to figure out where they're going in a zone. And when you have 5 guys playing a zone, one guy can afford to be late or be on the wrong side. But when you only have 3, it's tough to get back in transition. And Oil City did a great job that time pushing the ball up the floor.
Drain looks to work off the bounce. He's going to pick up the first foul, and that will go against Klein. So that's Tyler Klein's first, team's first. Drain right back to work down the lane. Beautiful sidestep of Rogers. He uses the right hand in the window. He's on the scoreboard at 6-4, Oil City.
Isaac can take it to the hole. He's good and strong. You got to get in front of him.
Klein is feeling it. His left wing 3 ball is good, and it's 9-4. Oil City out in front. Tyler Klein a fast start. That's 7 for him. Drain looks to work off a ball screen into traffic, and McFall, Isaac out of control. McFall takes the charge, and the blue hole and the Oilers have found some momentum. 5:16 to go in the first quarter, and the Oilers are out in front 9-4.
He has them all. Yeah, that's a big play. McFall's, I'll tell you, in the games that I've watched, he is not afraid to get in there and take a knee right in the chest. He did a good job there.
Sound player. He takes the charge. That's the first on Drain. Now Lukasiak finds Rogers in the right block. He spins. I think they're going to get Russell. I believe it was Russell. I think they're going to get Russell with the hand check.
I'll tell you, it's awfully early in the game, but you got to start to think, again, this defense you're betting on no one getting a hot hand. Well, Tyler Klein.
He's got a hot hand right now.
He's got 9 points. Oil City's got them all.
Excuse me, he's got all 9 of them.
And, you don't.
I'm sorry, Steve. That's the second personal on Isaac Drain. It was not Russell. They got Drain on the reach.
Well, that's a tough call.
Rogers cannot get the first one to go. 9-4, 5:01 to go in the first quarter, and Isaac Drain has got just as many personal fouls as he does points.
Honestly, didn't think he was in the vicinity on that one.
I guess they got him on the blow-by with the reach as Rogers rattles it in.
No action on the Franklin bench.
I'm not sure they can afford to lose him, but I'm not sure they can afford to play without him either.
Yeah, he's got to be awfully smart, especially when he has the ball.
Exactly. The first foul was a charge. The 1-3-1 zone finds Drain, let one go from the right wing, won't go. Khalil West with the offensive rebound, won't go. Rogers outduels Spade. McFall looks to push. Franklin's back on defense. Nobody stops ball, and McFall attacks the 10, and he's going to get Jeff Spade with the block.
And again, they're pushing it up the floor. They just beat him back on that one. Pretty simple. I mean, it was almost coast to coast, but no one stopped ball.
Preston Morgan checks in. Drain takes a seat. Grant Rogers with some good minutes. He takes a seat, replaced by Colton Schneider for the Oilers. 4:34 to go in the first quarter. Oil City out in front 10-4. Tyler Klein, the story. He's got 9 of the 10. Klein's got it left wing. Now back to Lukasiak, the top of the key. Looks like a 2-3 zone now.
Switched out, yep.
Oil City realizes they've switched their defense. Hadley off the bounce from the right wing. He's going to dribble the whole way through. Boy, skip pass, and he's got a great look to McFall for a 3. Hadley still works left wing against Morgan, the top of the 2-3 zone. Now Klein, Lukasiak back to Hadley. Lukasiak top of the key. McFall flashes, but goes to Klein on the right wing. Now McFall steps out right wing, shows, and he's going to travel.
When we watched them play here against Meadville, of course, Rogers wasn't in the game, but Meadville's 2-3 zone was, gave Oil City the most problems. Without a true big guy, kind of eliminates any opportunity to bluff inside or put it inside and kick it back out. So it might not be a bad move for Franklin. They got kicked out of that triangle.
Drain back in. Oof. Franklin fans just held their breath. Some contact. It will go against McFall. It's going to be his first, team second.
Yeah, pretty touchy. He didn't have his hands on him. It was riding him a little bit, but about 60 feet from the basket.
Hoffman checks in for the first time, the sophomore, coming off a career high 15 in his last outing. Looks like he's being face guarded by Morgan Hadley. Drain works Klein. finds Morgan now against Lucasiak at the top of the ski. Off a Spade ball screen. Back to Russell. Russell looks to work on McFall. Down the lane. Good find to Spade.
Great pass. Good penetration there. Great dish.
Great find. Spade's on the scoreboard. It's 10-6. Oil City very quickly across the timeline. Hadley down the lane, takes contact, finds McFall. Left wing three is in and out, no good. Drain tracks down the rebound, and the Knights look to push. Drain across the timeline. He's got Russell left wing. He's going to let it fly, and it's good. Big three for Kyle Russell, and we're 1-point ball game, 10-9.
Great set for Franklin, both offense and defensively.
Transition threes are my favorite. They're very difficult to defend. Good find. Russell,
sometimes they're for Isaac, too. Now he has to be under control, and sometimes makes him a better basketball player.
McFall against the zone, tried to find Schneider, knocked out of bounds by Franklin. So Oil City will inbound underneath their own bucket. It's Lucasiak, Schneider, Klein, Hadley, and McFall. Hoffman, Drain, Morgan, Russell, and Spade, the five on the floor for the Knights. Hadley gets penetration, turns it over. Russell looks to push. McFall knocks it from behind. And Franklin's going to get a timeout. Heads up play by Jeff Spade.
Yep.
So a 30-second timeout. We will keep it here. It's been a very, very torrid pace in this one. But, actually it was a lot like the first time these two teams tangled. Somebody got out to a big lead early. Good response by Franklin on the road.
Yeah, especially there when Isaac picked up his second foul, they were down 10-4, and again, kind of calmed things down. It wouldn't surprise me to see Franklin offensively play a little bit better. Isaac's a great handler of the ball, sometimes gets a little too caught up in taking it to the rack, and when he's out there just running the point, he's got good vision. He'll find the open man like he did there with Kyle Russell, and, now the 2-3 zone also looks to be a little bit more effective on Oil City. They're getting a little out of control with the dribble. Tyler
Klein scored the first 9, just a Grant Rogers free throw, and it's a 5-0 run for Franklin to get us to 10-9, 2:20 to go in the first quarter. Drain works off a staggered double with Spade and Russell. Now hands to Morgan. Russell off the bounce from the left wing, loses the handle, chases it down, kicks it out to Drain, and the Knights are going to reset. 2:10 to go in the first quarter. Off a Spade ball screen. Hoffman left corner back to Drain. Drain down the lane. Good take.
Yeah, he took her strong again. Patience there, though. He waited, had a good opportunity. There was nobody left in the lane, no help side.
Good possession for the Knights. They have their first lead of the night at 11-10. 2:50 to go in the first quarter. Kaziak left wing. Now it goes to Hadley, who's been very quiet here.
I tell you, Oil City doesn't look very comfortable against the zone. Yeah. And they turned it over again.
They have absolutely struggled. That's really been the difference in this one. Is certainly, obviously, Franklin, they're finding their rhythm on the offensive end, but probably more so their ability to change the complexion of the game when they went to the 2-3 zone.
Oil City making a little switch here.
Hoffman, right wing off the bounce, baseline, finds Spade. Spade has a tough handle on it. Klein knocks it out. Now Hadley takes it away. Hadley looks to push. One-on-one against Russell. Help side block by Morgan, but I think they're going to say Morgan was on the baseline. It's a good call by the official.
Yeah, good play both ways. Hadley got a step, got out ahead of everybody, but Preston Morgan caught up there, got in good position.
Kyle Russell took the right angle basically to widen Hadley's approach that allowed Morgan to close and get the block. Klein on the left wing, kicks it out to Morgan. Hadley now top of the key. Back to Klein left wing. They get it into the high post to McFall. McFall turns down the lane. A good find by Colton Schneider, but he can't handle it.
Yeah, that's cardinal sin. You turn the basketball over, against the zone. It's almost always going to be an unforced error. And Oil City probably done it 3 or 4 times now.
I mean, they got what they wanted. They got in the middle of it, and they created. Schneider couldn't handle it. He takes a seat, replaced by Grant Rogers. Across the timeline, Morgan, left wing, lets one fly. That's good. Same spot as Russell, and it's a 10-0 run for the Franklin Knights.
That kid can shoot it. You give him a second, and for a freshman, he doesn't think twice either.
The zone and the perimeter shooting for Franklin. A 10-0 run. Klein now 30 in the first left. Klein, who had the hot hand early, he still does. That's good now from the right wing, and he's got 12 of the 13 here in the first quarter.
That's a game changer for Oil City. I mean, Franklin's clearly focused on McFall and Hadley, and without Klein, I mean,
we haven't really heard from Lukasiak on the offensive end either. Klein with 12 of the 13. Drain works, 3 to shoot, down the lane. Kicks out to Morgan. Morgan's going to have to let one fly at the buzzer, and it will not go. 14-13 after 1. Be back in 60. We got a good one here. It's a hustle, 14-13. Joe Ludnowski alongside Steve Shigeldecker. We got a good one. And Lefty, if the next 3 are half as good as the first one, we're going to have a real good ball game here.
Yeah, there were about 3 quarters in that quarter.
That was wild. Fast start for Oil City. A 10-0 run by Franklin. And the hot shooting, 12 of the 13 of Tyler Klein.
Now, Oil City appears to be in a 2-3. Sometimes if you extend that zone out, it can work better against the perimeter shooting than man-to-man.
Drain down the left side and a beautiful dish to Jeff Spade, and he's up and off the window for 2. It's 16-13. Hadley very quickly down the other end. Now Klein's going to back out at the top of the key, Lukasiak. Still in the zone. Rogers in the high post to Klein. Same spot, left wing. That one's long. Morgan gets the board for the Knights. He's got numbers if he wants to push it. Dribble handoff to Hoffman on the right wing. Now Drain to Russell in the left corner. Back out to the top of the key, all the way around to Hoffman. So Russell, left wing now. Skip past to Hoffman, right wing. He squares against Lukasiak. Back out to Drain, and they're going to reset the offense against the 2-3 zone. Now Russell into Spade, back to Hoffman, a little 3-man game. Hoffman's 3 will not go from the right wing, but that's a good possession.
Yeah, Franklin's a little more comfortable against that zone. They got that true big man. You know, with Spade in there, it makes a huge difference to be able to kick it in, and he's a threat, you know, when Isaac's penetrating, they got the dish available. And I think that's, right now, what Oil City kind of lacks is Franklin's just playing the perimeter.
Franklin slow to get back again. McFall attacks. He draws the first personal against Kyle Russell. McFall to the free throw line, who's been quiet, held scoreless. First free throw is no good. The Oilers 1 out of 3 in the early going. Klein takes a seat with 12. Checking in for him is Sam Gatesman. Rogers takes a seat. Schneider back in for the Oilers. Second to come. On the way from McFall, it's good, but a lane violation. And Morgan Hadley in the lane early, and it's waved off. That's a...
Yeah, it's not a... that'll frustrate you as a coach. It's a foul shot. You got a good foul shooter. Just let him do his thing. You don't need to make a special play on that.
So the second free throw is waved off. 16-13. Drain to Hoffman, back to Drain. Oil City still in the zone. Hoffman on the right wing, long skip to Isaac Drain. He chases it down in front of Mark Cochran. Off of Kyle Russell ball screen. Step back 3, left wing is good from Isaac Drain.
Tough shot, but he knocked her down.
Maybe ill-advised, but when it goes in, it's sure pretty. Step back off the ball screen. He knocks it down. That's what the third 3 that Franklin's hit from the S in Oilers here right below us. Biggest lead of the night for Franklin is 19-13. Hadley looks to penetrate, kicks left wing to Lukasiak. Gatesman back to Hadley. Hadley lets one fly, and that is good. 19-16. Morgan Hadley finds nothing but nylon from the top of the key.
A little bit of a mental error. There was
penetration from Green. Kicks it out to Morgan. Morgan putting it left wing. It's something good. The 5 points for the young freshman. Preston Morgan off facing across the bench. Now gets a steal. And Drain digging for the loose ball. Hadley's hip checks him to the floor, and that's going to go against Mupp.
A little bit of frustration. He got a little head start there, but it was a good one probably to pull out, look in transition, but he kept going with it. Got to take it away.
Rough night for Morgan Hadley in the early going. 21-16, Franklin is in front of Oil City. Drain works off the staggered double. Tripped up by Schneider, gets it to Morgan. Morgan looks baseline. Beautiful take, sidesteps Schneider, and it's two more for Preston Morgan.
Yeah, sometimes it's nice. The freshman, I don't think he really...
Too dumb to know any better?
Yeah, he hadn't played in this game before.
I like it. Really good off Coach McCloskey's bench. He's got 7. Nick Fall. Off a ball screen from Schneider. Beautiful behind-the-back dribble, and he tries to find a cutting Gatesman. Taken away by Hoffman. Drain looks to push. They got Russell on the right wing. Skip now. Morgan left alone, top of the key, no good. McFall gets the rebound.
What a great look. He's doing a nice job against his own, not turning it over, getting good open shots.
Hadley, right wing penetration. Step back over Spade, won't go. Drain, rebound, end to end. No, he finds a cutting Eric Hoffman. Beautiful dish in transition, and Hoffman's on the scoreboard 25-16. Remember, it was 10-4. And what a response by the visiting Franklin Knights.
It was an ugly 10-4. It was all Oil City early, and honestly...
not only a turnover, but a charge. Lukasiak, Spade takes it. Nice step up by the big fellow. Lukasiak put it on the floor.
Yep, got off his feet there. Again, Oil City's, to me, they're trying to force too many things against that zone. Ball movement, taking to it a little bit, an extra dribble, getting in there so deep that they can't do anything with it. You got to pinch a zone, but you don't want to get caught up, with 3 guys on top.
30-second timeout on the floor. We'll keep it here. Steve, I'm curious. I advocate you got to penetrate a zone. You have to. But does repeatedly penetrating the foul line, don't you have to come in angles? Because the slides are so easy from top of the key penetration.
Yeah, really the key against, especially a 2-3 zone, is that if you have the basketball, you want to get 2 guys to guard you. That way you have a 4-on-3 left. Well, Oil City seems to be taking it almost in too deep. They're forcing it in, and by the time there's 4 or 5 guys around them. And, you want to pinch, move the basketball, move the defense, look to skip a little bit. Oil City's kind of putting their head down and just bowling right into the middle of the zone. A lot of it from right up top.
It's like a 5-man, 5-out offense, and then somebody just tries to get down the lane. So 25-16, it was 10-4 Oil City right out of the gate. What a response by Franklin on the road. Russell on the right wing. He's going to skip it to Hoffman. Looks like Coach Casey McCluskey's kind of pulling it out here a little bit. Franklin is, Oil City's back in the man defense. Drain puts it on the floor. It's going to be the hoop and the harm. They went basically 5 out. They cleared the lane. Drain attacks the rim. He will shoot 1.
That's for Franklin, that's ideal. And like you said, they spread the floor out. I think gets 1-on-1. He's going to beat you 1-on-1. Surprises me for Oil City. They're not looking to get that 3rd foul. They're not looking to step in and get a charge. It's in that case anyway. They just let Isaac play 1-on-1.
Drain makes it, and it's a 12-point lead. The foul was called on Hadley, his 2nd, team 5th. 28-16. The Franklin Knights have been very impressive here thus far. Speaking of impressive, Klein gets another one to go. He's got 14 of the 18.
But
if it's not for Tyler Klein, we're having a very different conversation about this one.
And we're not talking about a triangle anymore. It's, they're playing a 2-3. You're just stepping up and hitting the shots.
Russell works off the bounce, right wing baseline, strong take, can't get it to go. Lukasiak can't corral the rebound. Morgan can't get it to go. Lukasiak outlet to Hadley. Now to McFall, top of the key. Nearly loses the handle on it. Franklin very dangerously extended that zone. Hadley's rattled three will not go from the right wing. In the fray, attempted rebound. Going to get a foul on Oil City. Was that going to go on Klein or Schneider?
I'm thinking McFall, but
Oh, it was McFall,
yeah.
Okay.
Pretty athletic play, but he might have got some body in there.
So Klein takes a seat, replaced by Gatesman. 28-18. Franklin out in front. 2:25 to go here in the first half.
City showing a little half-court trap here.
Long pass to Spade, knocked away by Schneider. Morgan Hadley looks to push down the lane. Will not go, but he will go to the free throw line.
Trying to do a little too much there, Franklin, Isaac with that skip. I mean, he had him, but, it's a little bit too much risk-reward there, probably. You can't give away possessions in a game like this.
I mean, Spade's tall, but that's not exactly Willie Cauley-Stein that he's throwing over the top to.
He's still struggling getting in the hole, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I sarcastically said about if there's no Tyler Klein, where are we at here?
Yeah.
I mean, they have not been able to make shots. They have not been able to make free throws as Hadley gets neither to go. Drain off the bounce, finds a cutting Hoffman, trapped underneath the bucket. Kicks it out to Russell. His three right wing will not go. Hadley wrestles away the rebound. Hadley does not have the numbers and wisely pulls it back out. Lukasiak swings it over to the right side to Gatesman. Now back to Lukasiak at the top of the key. No touches, really, Steve, inside the three-point line.
No,
now.
yeah, and, with Lukasiak, too, I don't know if he's got a shot off him.
I was actually trying to go through my head in terms of quality possessions. It seems like an eternity since the Oilers have had one.
It's set up very high against the zone, and you've got to get in there where you can be a triple threat.
I mean, if you're going to flash, you got to make it worthwhile. Lukasiak,
You got one.
deep three won't go. Hoffman clears. Morgan looks to push. He slows it down with 1:15 to go. Now Drain, right wing. I think they're going to hold for the last here. It's 28-18.
Well, one thing Casey will do is he'll burn the clock. He figures he can get that last shot of a half or a period.
Whoa, Russell. I don't know. That's a 50-50 call. Schneider draws the charge. I don't know if I buy that one. I thought Schneider might have been late.
Yeah, it's
And that's a
second third foul for Kyle, and that's
yeah.
something he has to be aware of when he takes it. But I got to me there wasn't a lot of contact there.
If anything, I would have been. If you hadn't called a foul, it would have been a block on Schneider. So the charge on Russell. Not only is it his third, he turns it over. As a result, Hadley lets the three go from the left corner, and it is good. 28-21 now.
Nice set play, run against the zone there. That's good coaching there. Have something set up for them to get a specific look, and Hadley knocked it down.
Matt Schultz checks in for the Knights as Russell takes a seat on the Knights bench. Drain against Klein, 22 to go in the first half. Off the Spade ball screen, now 14. 9, top of the key. Drain waves off Spade's ball screens. Off the bounce, fade away. Wow. Big time. The crossover, step back. Drain hits a three at the buzzer, and it's 31-21 at the break.
Tough shot.
That's the second time we've seen him cross over and step back over the top of a ball screen and make it.
There really wasn't any doubt it was going to happen. I mean, for the last 30 seconds after the usually player with the basketball game, a couple jab dribbles to keep the 5-second clock off of him, and he was going to get the last shot. And hey, he's a senior. He's your leading scorer. Why not? Feels a hot hand. like you said earlier, that's one that if it goes in, it pumps the crowd up, pumps you up. If it doesn't, you kind of shake your head. But it went in.
It went in, and it has been a remarkable comeback of sorts here for the Franklin Knights on the road. At the break, 31-21. Region 5, we got a good one here in the making. The Knights on the road, out in front of the Oilers. Tim Shaw, the KQW Sports Desk, gets the Cooperstown Sand and Gravel Franklin Concrete halftime show right here on the Oil Region Sports Leader, 96.3 KQW.
10-4. Franklin came down, hit a big three. Got a turnover and then, got another bucket. It's 10-9 in 30 seconds or less. And that was huge because I think, as early as it was, but in this atmosphere, a game like this can get away from you. And credit to Coach McCluskey. They, got out of that triangle pretty quickly, rather than sit in there and let kids take open shots. And the zone really seemed to bother Oil City. Without a big man, they haven't got many touches in the paint, and they're trying to dribble it in there a lot. Franklin offensively, great plug from Preston Morgan to, coming off the bench, Eric Hoffman, those kids. So Oil City's got the work cut out, but they got the home court, and I don't think this one's over yet.
You talk about bounce back. In the first 5 minutes, I don't think a road team's ever won a game. But in the history of time, in the first 5 minutes, lots of road teams have lost games. Nice response by the Franklin Knights because they got blitzed early. Underway the second half. We switch sides. Hadley, left wing three will not go. Morgan, who gets the nod to start second half. He looks to push. He and Drain, and then we're going to slow it up. And Morgan mishandles it.
Interesting choice. He's going to keep Russell down to start the second half. Run the freshman out there a little bit, see if he can buy some time for Kyle.
I think you're up 10. It's a different scenario whether you're first being down 10.
Yeah, no question.
So Russell does not start the second half. Preston Morgan, who had 7 off the bench, the freshman, gets the nod to start the second half. Drain off the bounce, high ball screen, uses the window, it's good. And it's a 12-point lead, 31-21, and that's 12 for Isaac Drain.
Yeah, quite honestly, Oil City is not doing a good job of containing Isaac on his penetration.
McFall finally gets involved in the offensive end, can't get it to go from the 8-foot. Spade corrals the rebound. And Morgan walks across the timeline.
I know, Isaac made a couple, but I think you'd rather see him take a step back three than continually get in that paint against it.
Yep. They have been beaten. No doubt, Drain has played an exceptional first half, especially, we didn't talk about it, Steve, but he got those two fouls early.
He did. There was 5 minutes left in the first quarter, and now he stayed under control.
He's a much better player, I think, with 2 fouls than he is with one. I mean,
I couldn't agree more.
When he's controlled, he gets so many guys involved. Penetration by Morgan, dumps it off to Spade. Spade can't get it to go. Rogers gets the rebound for the Oilers. Quickly across the timeline to Klein. Now to Lukasiak at the top of the key. They try to run the secondary break, and they're going to set up the offense. Rogers works in a block against Spade, but Hadley can't get it to him. Now Klein works off a ball screen. Penetration kick to Hadley, right wing off the bounce. He goes baseline, dribbles the whole way through. Lukasiak pulls up from 8 feet, gets it to go.
Pretty good set there. Oil City gets the penetration. The problem is they can't really finish in there. And I think Franklin knows that. So they're not collapsing 2 or 3 guys when they get in there.
Drain down the lane, spin move, pretty off the window, won't go. McFall has it knocked out of bounds by Spade. Oil City will get possession. 23 points on the board for the Oilers, but it's 10 shy of what the Knights got posted.
And again, Isaac got in there. He got in deep. He just he didn't finish that time.
And Morgan Hadley works off a McFall ball screen off the right wing. Looks to turn the corner, hands it off to Klein. Now back to McFall down the lane, right at Khalil West. And a beautiful take by McFall. 33-25, 5 minutes to go in the third. Huff now, as Klein extends the defense. Now Huff looks to go, pulls it back out. Back to Huff, 2-man game. Oil City looks to trap. We got West in the corner. Good skip pass by Drain, to Drain, the trap was coming. Drain off a ball screen from Spade, kind of gets trapped with nowhere to go, but fortunately he's bailed out, and McFall knocks it out of bounds.
There again, opportunities to step in there and maybe take a charge. Did that third one on Isaac, but
that would be an interesting coaching decision if he did pick up the third. Hoffman checks in, West takes a seat.
It looks like Franklin's, they're being very patient. I think other than when Isaac gets has the green light, but the rest of the team, I think they're trying to get a little clock off here and shorten the game up to get Russell back in.
Russell's not played in the second half. He had the 3 first half fouls. Now Hoffman works against Klein. 4:20 to go. Huff turns the corner, skips it back out to Hoffman. Now to Drain, back to Hoffman. Hoffman left wing.
If I didn't know better, if I didn't know there weren't 12 minutes left in the game, I'd tell you they're in a delay.
Yeah, they have really taken the air out of this one. Will not change the Cathedral Prep. And they have slowed it down. Now under 4-corner offense. Franklin continues to run clock. This is a play-by-play man's dream, I tell you.
Yeah.
We'll just sit here in silence until Franklin makes an attempt at the basket. Off the ball screen from Spade, drains 3 from the top of the key. Will not go. McFall gets the rebound. He looks to push. 2-on-4. Trailer Hadley, 3, rims out, no good. Spade with the rebound. Now the one thing, it's easy to second guess when you're up here, but I've always been an advocate. Drain, no he didn't. He's asking for a shooter. I think he's lucky he didn't pick up his third. Grant Rogers, I thought, might have been set.
Yeah, I didn't see a move. He may have clipped him a little bit on the side, but he still had the position. So I think Isaac probably got away with one there with a pretty good collision.
Russell checks back in 3:15. But, Steve, I'm always a guy that I just advocate, you dance with the girl you brought. I mean, you build yourself up a pretty good lead, and then all of a sudden, you're trying to find a new date. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
Russell's fade away from the lane, will not go.
You're trying to shorten the game up, but that's under the assumption that maybe, you're the lesser team. Right now, Franklin's winning. And
he's been impressive. I mean, they took it right to Oil City. Hadley off a ball fake. Rattles it out from the right wing. Will not go. Drain looks to push. Maybe a spot you'd like to see him slow it down. He does not. Spade corrals it. 2-on-4. Now McFall knocks it free. Hadley. Hoffman from behind knocks it, but McFall chases it down in the corner. Now McFall to Lucasiak. Skip the Klein. Left corner. Trying to get it to Rogers in the block. Kicks it out to Hadley. Now Lucasiak's going to reset the offense. 2:30 to go here in the third quarter. High post to Rogers. He turns. Back to Klein. Klein's been quiet. Step back. Will not go. Chases down his own rebound. Now McFall to Klein. Now McFall looks to reset it. Lucasiak. The Oilers reset their offense exactly 2:05 to go in the third. Dribble handoff top of the key to Lucasiak. Now to McFall. Finds a gap. Scoop shot. Tough shot. Will not go. Spade with another board for the Knights.
They ran a lot of clock there. I don't know. Lost a little patience. Probably not the best look they could have got. Franklin, on the other hand, running a lot of clock. And, honestly, in the first half, they got a lot of great looks. I don't know that I would have messed with that. I'd just keep playing basketball. 33-25.
We're at a snail's pace here. It's 31-21 at the break. 1:30 to go in the third. The Franklin Knights have eaten about almost 4 minutes of the clock. Morgan's 3 from the right corner is up and good, and that's double figures for the freshman. Now Hadley very quickly to the other end. Kicks it out to Lucasiak. McFall works left wing. Back to Hadley at the top of the key. Well, it looks like a 2-3 zone for the Knights. McFall's 3 from the left corner will not go. Hoffman. When's the last time, if any, Oil City had an offensive rebound?
I don't know if they got many tonight or any, and, they're getting a pretty good open looks. They're just not knocking anything down there.
The shooting percentage is about as comfortable as the temperature is outside right now for the Oilers. Cannot buy a bucket. Lucasiak works on Drain. It's an 11-point lead. Down the lane to Russell. He steps over a body. He uses the window. It's up and good, and it's a 13-point lead, 38-25. Hadley across the timeline. Step through to Lucasiak, who's been quiet. Now McFall. Baseline penetration up off the window and good. Of course, Russell there with the late slide, but knowing he's got 3 personals, wisely lets McFall go by.
Something they probably want to take advantage of.
12. Hoffman back to Drain at 9. Now it's 7. It's Hoffman. Good find by Spade. Power dribble up and off the window. It's good. 40 to 27. A great find by Hoffman. The half-court buzzer beater attempt by Lukasiak will not go. But how about the vision by the sophomore Hoffman against the pressure on the perimeter to find Spade? We got 8 minutes left in this one. 40 to 27. Franklin out in front of Oil City. Back in 60 right here on 96.3 KQW. Oh, 13 points, the deficit for the homestanding Oil City Oilers. Franklin continues to work clock on the offensive end. Hoffman works against Hadley. Oil City's really getting aggressive now on the defensive end. Drain, and they're going to get a reach in on the way by Klein. That's just the second foul of the half. Not a foul committed by the Knights in that. That's how exciting that third quarter was. Not a foul committed by Franklin. Hoffman off the inbound uses the window, and the lead is 15.
Oil City's getting a little desperate, taking a lot of chances on defense.
It is sort of go time.
It is.
McFall gets Hoffman in the air down the lane. Beautiful spin. And it's either going to be the third on Drain or the fourth on Russell. And it's the third on Drain. Jackson McFall, just the 7th free throw attempted by the Oilers. Unfortunately for Oil City, they've made one. McFall gets the first to go. Not only have they struggled from the free throw line, they've struggled to get to the free throw line, which is one of their bread and butter.
Yeah, Oil City's, they're out of sorts. They're going to have to make some adjustments. They're obviously down 14 right now. They're going to have to, get more possessions and get some turnovers.
McFall gets a pair to go. 42-29. Steve, when I played, my coach is telling us, okay, let's just get it to single digits by 4. I think you got to play a deficit like this in increments.
Yeah, that's it. That last possession they gave up a layup and stuff. You can't take too many chances that, Franklin's just going to have open layups. But
Drain against the Spade won't go. McFall's got the rebound. He looks to push. Morgan cuts him off. Crossover, McFall nearly turns it over. Maintains possession, finds Gatesman. Gatesman can't get it to go. Hoffman finally, what a strange sequence that was. Finally, Eric Hoffman comes away with it for the Franklin Knights.
I think there was a couple of travels.
Maybe a double dribble.
2 fouls, and at the end, a missed wide open layup.
Spade could not handle the inbounds pass, and Klein and Schneider collapse on him. Spade hits the deck. Jump ball is called. It will be Oil City basketball. Let's be honest. The last 2 possessions, Franklin has not helped their cause if they want to win this game.
No, Oil City's picking up the pace on them, and the last thing you want to do, of course, is panic. I think if they're patient, they got good ball handlers out there. We should get some open shots.
Cutting the fall, cannot get it to go. He gets his own rebound and puts it back in, and it's 42-31. A great find by Lukasiak from the corner to a cutting Jackson McFall. Isaac Drain races across the timeline. 6 minutes to go in this one. 42-31.
One friend for Oil City right now is the fact that they only have 2 fouls. You can take a few chances on that, getting a steal here or there, but that's not going to happen.
Long diagonal skip from Hoffman to Morgan, and Morgan along the baseline to Spade. He uses the window. It's 44-31. Hadley across the timeline will not get it to go. There's a foul on the rebound attempt. I believe it's going to go against Spade, and it does.
You know, in that last possession for Franklin, I mean, Oil City just ran two guys out to a guy in half court. It's you want to trap, they need to trap, but you got to be careful where you do it. It's just running out that far, it just left three guys to guard four.
5:40 to go. Lukasiak, who had a big one the last time these guys played, down the lane, cannot get the runner to go. Hoffman gets the rebound, finds it to Russell. Drain walks across the timeline. Knocked away by Klein, but it will be Franklin basketball.
For the most part, Isaac's got one gear, and that's towards that rim.
Which I don't mind. It's
No.
just got to be in control, and you got to pick your spots too.
Yep.
I mean, there's a reason that people that own Lamborghinis don't drive them in January. You know, you just got to pick your spots on when you're going to take the action. And sometimes you got to wait to see what the action is that comes to you.
I will say he's a kid who's had a ball in his hand almost every day since he could dribble, so it's a good time for him.
Hoffman against Hadley, right wing. Now it's back out, under 5 to go. Drain is going to be fouled by Klein. You talk about the foul situation. If you're Mark Cochran, with the way that Casey McCloskey is really eating this clock, I mean, do you start to foul now? Because that window to extend the game could close very quickly.
Yeah, if you get a dead ball, some time to talk to your team, and certainly I would want them to be.
Near turnover now is, and it is again. Hadley came up with a loose ball, and Hoffman is. I think that's the right call. I think Hoffman knocked it off of Hadley after Hadley took it away from Hoffman.
Yeah, there was some contact for sure, but they didn't get the call. Right now, Hoffman's got to be a little careful. He's an emotional kid.
It's a lot of fun until you get banged for a technical, and it's a 5-point swing. Drain down the lane. Has it knocked away. Russell recovers it. Heavy ball pressure. Drain dribbles through it. Down the lane. Nobody picks up ball, though. And Drain's going to go to the free throw line. Got to stop ball once the initial penetration is made, and nobody slid to stop him. An unevaded path to the rim. McFall's going to be whistled.
I don't know if they're set too low to start with, or they're just not coming up enough. But once you're into the paint and you only got a few feet left, I don't know what's happening here, to be honest.
So Hadley is actually whistled. Did not see. Drains at the free throw line. Misses the first. No idea. Did not see a foul call. Did not see a technical foul call. Did not see an intentional foul call.
I don't either. I'm guessing intentional, but
And Drain misses both.
almost had to have been intentional. If it would have been a technical, he'd have more. He had the two that he would have gotten, so 2 in the ball back.
Yeah, but the official didn't exactly do a good job of signifying what the call was. Drain.
Nor frankly do I understand why it would be called
Yeah,
back.
I don't get that either. Drain gets it across timeline, defended by Klein. Left wing to Morgan. Long skip to Hoffman. Now Russell in the right corner. Bounce pass out to Hoffman. Hoffman to Drain. 4:05 to go in this one. Morgan to Spade in the left block. He kicks it out to Drain. 4 to go. It's 44-31. Drain down the lane. Off the window again, Steve. Nobody steps up to stop ball on the dribble penetration.
No, he gets in so deep right now against them and trying to take a charge, but
Lukasiak's left three is good, and Mark Cochran takes a timeout right away. And we will take 1-2. A 30-second timeout. 46-34. Franklin is out in front. Why? I don't understand why that was an intentional.
I've never seen anybody not kind of come out and make that real clear.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that he, probably fouled him pretty good or whatever. Maybe, but stupid call.
Yeah.
That's on YouTube, too. I mean, when a kid gets that deep, you know you're fouling him.
Back here at the House of Hustle. It is a good one. But as we say in the radio business, it's gotten late early for the Oil City Oilers. They are down 12 with 3:44 to go in this one. Yes, it's only a 4-possession game, but they've struggled against the pressure. Russell gets it across the timeline to Spade. He's fouled hard by Klein. And that's a hard foul.
Yeah, I didn't see the last one he called intentional, but
I think he was making a play for the ball.
he did.
Let's be honest. Just the physics of it. Spade is considerably bigger than Klein.
Right.
You're going to have to get him pretty good because you don't want to give up the easy layup.
It's a tough rule. I mean, that foul's intentional any way you look at it.
Yeah.
But, you coach him that way. You don't want him to give up the bucket.
Spade to the free throw line. First free throw will not go. Franklin has missed their last 3.
Yeah, that's something to keep track of.
The JV team made 7 in the last 60 seconds.
Franklin's got some pretty good shooters, but so it might be time for Coach Cochran to figure out who he may want to put to the line. And
neither go. McFall gets the rebound. 46-34.
a big possession if Oil City can get a bucket.
Hadley into the lane. Contact with Spade. No call. Rogers' offensive rebound will not go, and Spade with another defensive rebound. And Casey McCloskey takes a timeout. Saves the possession. 3:20 to go. It's a 60-second timeout. We'll be back.
Who's the loon going across? It's got to be Hadley's brother.
Huh?
There's one kid running across. He missed him. You guys were looking up. The kid was screaming at the ref from out on the court. Looked just like Blake. Or whatever.
Blake, yeah. I didn't see.
So I'm guessing it was a brother. I do think you probably, when there's that much blood on the court, you probably got to get one or the other.
Right back to action here. Another foul as Oil City went to the full court pressure. Tyler Klein.
That may be it for him.
I believe that will be.
Again, I think Morgan hit a 3 in this half, but other than that, it's been, Franklin dribbling right to the basket.
I mean, Morgan does have a 3. Just 3 field goals in the fourth quarter for the Knights. The youngster, Cade Cochran, put in a real tough spot here as he takes the place of Klein. First free throw will not go, and that's 5 in a row that Franklin has missed. Kyle Russell, 46-34. Second is on the way, will not go. McFall with another rebound.
Well, Oil City's going to have to convert on these missed free throws.
Franklin's given him a chance, but Oil City hasn't done anything with it. Cochran in the corner, defended by Spade. It's a trap, able to find McFall. McFall, and I think they're going to get a hand check on the way through.
Yeah, Franklin's got some to give. It's not exactly the time to play around with that philosophy, but
I believe that's going to be on Kyle Russell. That's his 4th. Steve, not to insult anyone's intelligence here, but we are 1 3-point made field goal away from a single-digit deficit with 2:52 to go.
yeah, and Franklin, the foul shots they got to be thinking about him at this point, even if you're the next guy up.
McFall tries to find a cutting Rogers, and yet again, the Oilers cannot make use of missed free throws by Franklin. 2:46 to go. 46-34.
I think if Jackson gets that back, he puts it up.
I think he's, yeah. I mean, you have to figure, nothing against Grant, but you got a cutting big versus, probably your most prolific guard 6 feet from the bucket.
Yeah, and that was a missile, and I think Rogers was already going for the rebound by then.
They get it across the timeline to Morgan, left wing, a dangerous pass. McFall, it's got to be whistled for the foul. Isaac Drain, it will be 1-1.
Good foul shooter, but
that's what Franklin needs. Even though he missed his last two, they need some free throws. Even though it's a 12-point lead, I would imagine that Franklin's sort of on pins and needles here. But fortunately for the Knights, Oil City hasn't done anything to help themselves. Drain gets the first to go. We'll get a second. 47-34.
Oil City's had a bundle of possessions on that 34, and they really haven't gotten good looks.
Drain cannot get the second to go. Colton Schneider clears. 2:30 to go in this one. Lukasiak across the timeline. McFall off a ball screen. Behind the back dribble down the lane. And he cannot get it to go. Frustration foul, going to say it. I thought that was a delayed whistle. I thought he got him sooner than it was called. But McFall will be whistled. Again, Jeff Spade. There you go, Brian. There's your 30 seconds. Jeff Spade with another defensive rebound. We talk about the stat sheets. We don't keep track of rebounds, but Spade has been big on the defensive glass.
He sure has. I mean, I don't know if Oil City might have a couple, but for the most part, they've cleaned it up.
I can think of 3 offensive rebounds for the entire game for the Knights, or for the Oilers.
Again, Oil City, that's a look right at the rim there.
Spade misses the front end. Schneider gets the rebound. 2:20 to go. Lukasiak, top of the key, step back, no good. Schneider with a rebound, but Cade Cochran knocks it free. Schneider's able to corral it. Finds McFall in the corner. Little flat, short, won't go. Spade with another defensive rebound. Ooh. Casey McCloskey awarded a timeout with no possession. That is a lot. I know that's instinctual, but that is not a good call by the lead official. He was about 70 feet away from the basketball, and he called timeout, and Franklin did not have possession.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I've never liked the rule. I don't think you should be able to call it from the bench in that situation. Often you hear it, and instinctively you just react to the timeout. The truth of the matter is everybody in the building is yelling, but Preston Morgan had secured the basketball, about 2 seconds later, so I don't think it was a factor, but it wasn't the right call.
The ball was live on the baseline to our left, and Casey McCloskey called a timeout from the Franklin bench, and the official directly in front of him granted it. As you're, to your point, Steve, I don't know if it matters, but everybody stopped but Preston Morgan, so it's hard to tell. 47-34, 2:05 to go. Full court pressure. Schneider on Drain, and Schneider's going to be whistled. Probably not exactly the matchup that Mark Cochran wants. He's trying to have Colton Schneider go 94 feet with Isaac Drain.
Yeah, he got a body on him quick. He didn't get out ahead of him.
That's the second on Schneider, 2:02 to go. The free throw line has not been kind to the red and black.
I tell you, that's about it. If they're knocking down free throws, we're already in the cars.
Yeah. Isaac Drain's first free throw is up and good. 14 points the number, 48-34, 2:02 to go in the ball game. Drain gets them both to go. 15 now, 2 minutes to go. Lukasiak finally picks it up at half court. Cade Cochran off the bounce, kicks it out. Lukasiak 3 will not go. Rebound corralled by Russell. Out to Drain. It might be warm up the bus time as Drain, a beautiful left-handed finish. It's 51-34. Isaac Drain, Hadley. And he needs some threes very quickly. McFall pulls up to the foul line. He gets it to go. 51-36, and Mark Cochran calls a timeout. We'll take a 30-second timeout as well. 51-36. It's been all Franklin here in the second half.
Well, I haven't seen them all, but I don't know if they could have played any worse than this.
I don't know if it's a 30. You're fine. Back here at the House of Hustle, 88 seconds away from, I don't know if it would be an upset of sorts, but it would be a significant win for the Franklin Knights, who would improve to 8-7 in region play. And in terms of seeding, really open things up. We do not have any updates on the Grove City Hickory game or the Sharon George Jr. game. Finally, they get it in. Huff hands it to Drain. No, he doesn't. And he's going to be knocked down. Is that McFall or Casey? Not sure it really matters. It will put Huff to the free throw line. It will be his first trip to the free throw line. I believe he's been held scoreless here tonight. I'm not sure he's even had too many shot attempts, Steve.
No, after getting the nod there, he hasn't, when the freshman got the hot hand and, Hoffman played pretty solid. I think Allen's been sitting quite a bit of this one.
He makes the first. It's 52-36.
Good though to be able to bring your, basically your point guard in off the bench at the end of the game, and you're trying to milk the clock and knock down free throws.
Second is on the way, is also good. Biggest lead of the night is 53-36 with 75 seconds left to go in this one. McFall was whistled. It's his fourth. Just 9 points scored by the Oilers here in the in the fourth quarter. (53-36). The personal foul whistled for Morgan. Clock stops. Now Oil City gets it in. McFall down the lane, kicks it out left wing to Hadley. He gets it. That's his third triple of the night. And very quickly, Oil City calls a timeout. 53-39. We'll take a 30-second timeout.
Down 4 points, we can't hear you.
They said, let's play football.
Oh.
Back here at Oil City High School, Joe Lednuski alongside Steve Shinglebecker. 1:11 to go in this one. Morgan Hadley's three closes the gap. It's still a 14-point deficit for the homestanding Oilers. Franklin gets it inbounds. Cade Cochran knocks it out of the hands of Preston Morgan. Just 2 seconds off the clock. Full court pressure by Franklin. Of course, now Huff cannot run the baseline. And he's going to call a timeout. Good defense by the Oilers. 69 seconds to go in this one. And Steve, obviously, unless they lower a 15-point basket like the old MTV Jock Jams, which I think that was a 25-point basket. But, what do you do? Because you're really up against it here. Is it, a minute 9 left to go?
It's not mathematically impossible, and it probably has happened before. All you can do is you go all out, you face guard everybody, you go total deny, you try to get the basketball on turnovers. If you don't get it on a turnover, you foul. They have to miss foul shots. You got to make everything you look at in a short period of time. Use your timeout.
Of course, the best thing that could happen is a 5-second call, and that way you get a turnover and no clock comes off.
You're in desperation here. You obviously about 10 or 15 seconds away from throwing in the towel if you can't get a quick turnover and a three. Give Coach Cochran credit for coaching the thing to the end.
53-39 as the student bodies have silly chants back and forth at one another. Lukasiak steals the inbounds pass. McFall on the right wing. And he's going to be fouled by Huff. Probably not a bad foul to allow Franklin to reset their defense.
No, a real bad pass, though, I got to be honest. That's
ill-advised.
Throw it up into the rafters to half court. It's pretty much a jump ball from there.
Probably want to throw that one to the far end line if you're going to throw it up for grabs. So 5 seconds gone off the clock. 104. Into Lukasiak, top of the key. Had a look, didn't take it. Now Hadley lets one fly from the left wing, and he gets it. 53-42. And do we have a foul or a timeout?
I think we got a foul.
Okay, we got kind of loud there for a second, and I heard a whistle. So the foul is going to go against Lukasiak. 55 ticks to go. Morgan, the freshman, will go to the free throw line for the first time tonight.
Yep, it's part one of your, well, it would be about a 12-part equation here.
Yeah, you need
11.
You need a bunch.
Got the turnover, you got a big three, you're going to have some missed free throws.
Morgan with no Knights at the line with him, misses the first. Cade Cochran is out, Grant Rogers is in.
Not sure why you would pull him off the line when you're not in the one-on-one, and the other team's not in the one-on-one, but
he's got faith in the youngster. But I guess a missed free throw versus a made transition three at the other end is probably a bigger deal.
That's true.
And it is missed. McFall corrals it. Eisman hands off to Hadley, right wing. Crossover, 47. Steps in, three off the window, won't go. Morgan with the rebound. Drain, fouled hard by Hadley. Morgan whistled for the personal. Will send Isaac Drain to the free throw line.
Well, they got a look. A good one, but you don't have time to get a good one.
No, you don't. I think Hadley thought that he had created space. The old NBA lean-in did not get it.
You got some, Oil City's got a couple weapons now on the bench. It's, again, you just desperation at this point, trying to get any kind of magic to happen.
Drain gets the first to go. 54-42. Penguins hockey will come your way after this. The second to go by Isaac Drain. 40 seconds, 55-42. McFall down the lane to Eisman. Eisman gets the runner to go, and it's an 11-point game with 30 seconds. Russell gets it into Morgan. Gets it in the front court to Spade. Spade hands it to Drain. 22. Drain against the whole Drain against the whole Oil City team. Is going to be done for the night. On the reach in, Morgan ended up with 12, 4 3 balls for Mo Hadley, but it will be for naught in a losing effort. Just a question of by what the final margin is.
Yeah, I know it wasn't night. Oil City is limited some on offense. Got to, with Hadley and McFall, kind of have to lead the way for them. And frankly, when they're down, it's a tough. And Klein did a great job early, but once they shut that door, someone else had to pick up the slack, and it wasn't there.
The other thing is, second won't go either. 55-44. The other thing, Steve, is McFall works down the lane. Cade Cochran in the corner, steps in, that's long. Morgan takes it, and that'll be your ball game. Well, maybe not. Cochran with a steal. Rogers to McFall in the corner, gets Spade off his feet, short like everything else. And the final is 55-44. The Franklin Knights victorious on the road. The biggest difference in this one, Steve, is Oil City could not get points in the lane. They couldn't. That's a big issue. They are just as, even though they don't have a post presence, the offense is just as much inside out as an